We're counting down 10 watch brands where you're not paying for craftsmanship. You're paying for a logo. From fashion label quartz pieces hiding $7 movements to six-figure status trophies that cost a fraction of their sticker price to build, every entry on this list exploits the same trick. They sell the illusion of wealth to people who don't know what's actually on their wrist. The markups are staggering, the depreciation is brutal, and the higher we climb, the more absurd the gap between price and substance becomes. Starting at number 10, we look at a brand that treats watchmaking the same way it treats cologne. In 10th place, Emporio Armani delivers the perfume counter approach to watchmaking. The logo tax, retail prices for entry-level quartz pieces land between $250 and $450. But the guts inside, usually a Mille or ISA quartz movement, cost just $7 to $12 wholesale. That's right. The AR2434 chronograph, with its manufacturer-suggested retail price of $325, is powered by the same off-the-shelf module found in watches 1/10 the price. Factory truth: most assembly happens in anonymous OEM plants in China or the Far East, far from any Italian atelier. Stainless steel cases and mineral crystals are standard, but the real feature is the oversized eagle logo stamped across the dial. Status illusion. Chrono 24 resale data does not lie. 2 years after purchase, that $350 Armani drops to about $96, a brutal 70% value loss. Fake flex factor: the chronograph subdials are purely decorative and offer all the timing accuracy of a kitchen timer. For real collectors, these watches are costume jewelry with a designer sticker. For the fake rich, they are the starter pack for buying status at a department store. The only thing luxury about Emporio Armani quartz is the marketing budget. Number 9. Guess delivers the fast fashion answer to fake flexing, rhinestones, gold tone plating, and more logo than timekeeping. The logo tax. Guess quartz pieces flash retail tags from $150 to $250, but the build cost limbos at $40 to $45, thanks to a $10 to $18 Mille movement and mineral crystal that wouldn't look out of place in a vending machine watch. Factory truth: these watches move through Hong Kong distribution hubs, stacked high in business-to-business warehouses, destined for department store glass cases and influencer unboxings. The bait: models like the mini chic ceramic quartz, listed at $245, are all about surface sparkle and fake subdials, with functions that exist purely for decoration. Resale. Reality. On Chrono 24, that same guest piece craters to $85 or less within a year, a 30 to 50% value drop, outpacing most fast fashion. Community consensus. Watch forums and TikTok call them out as costume jewelry for the status hungry, not the horologically curious. For the fake rich, Guess offers the illusion of bling at a markup that is almost as bold as the rhinestones. In 8th place, Kenneth Cole turns the department store watch into a warranty gamble. Logo tax. Retail prices hover between $100 and $180, but the real cost to build one of these is about $60, thanks to a $12 Chinese quartz movement and bargain bin materials. Factory truth. OEM assembly lines in China crank out these watches by the pallet, with branding and packaging accounting for as much of the wholesale cost as the movement itself. Warranty roulette. A 2-year limited warranty sounds reassuring, but the fine print carves out all the usual suspects: battery, crystal, strap, and even water damage. Now for the kicker. Amazon and Trustpilot reviews paint a bleak picture, with 23% of buyers reporting movement failures or major accuracy issues within the first 18 months. That is more than 1 in 5 watches stalling out before the warranty even helps. Resale reality. On the secondary market, Kenneth Cole pieces hemorrhage over 60% of their value in under 2 years, For collectors, these are disposable accessories. For the fake rich, it is a roll of the dice, paying for a brand name and hoping the second's hand keeps up.
Number 7. Bvlgari's Serpenti and B01 quartz watches prove that jewelry can masquerade as horology for a price. The logo tax. Retail tags start at $2,500 and climb past $4,000. But inside the coiled gold or bangle case sits a Solida quartz movement that costs about $35 at wholesale. That's right, the same movement found in micro-brand watches under $200 now powers a luxury snake. Build reality. Even factoring in precious metal, the total bill of materials hovers near $400, with the rest of the sticker price pure brand premium. Bvlgari's own marketing leans into Italian design and heritage, but the movement is a commodity part, not a feat of watchmaking. Status illusion. Chrono 24 resale charts lay out the truth. Within 2 years, that $3,300 Serpenti typically slides to $1,470, a 55% drop, while B01 quartz models fare no better. Community consensus. Collectors on WatchUseek and R Watches dismiss these as jewelry with a clock, not a watch with pedigree. For the fake rich, Bvlgari's quartz lines are the ultimate flex, paying thousands for the illusion of luxury. And a logo that is worth less than half what you paid by the time the next trend hits.
Number 6. Hugo Boss turns the boardroom watch into a masterclass in corporate branding over horology. Logo tax. Entry-level quartz models retail between $150 and $350, but the actual build cost hovers around $120, with the movement itself, usually a Ronda or a Chinese hybrid, clocking in at just $14 to $18 wholesale. The rest is pure brand markup and a heavy dose of marketing spend. Factory. Truth. These watches are assembled in global OEM facilities, with the Boss logo stamped on the dial as the main feature. The movement may have Swiss roots, but the final product is a blend of parts and labor from wherever costs are lowest. Nothing that would impress a watchmaker. Status illusion. Department store displays pitch these as the finishing touch for the aspiring executive, but resale data tells a different story. Within 18 to 36 months, that $250 Boss watch typically drops to $100 or less on the secondary market, a 60% value loss that makes even Bvlgari's design premium look like a safe investment. Marketing versus research and development. The real money at Hugo Boss goes into ad campaigns and celebrity endorsements, not into movement development or watchmaking innovation. For real collectors, these are props for the office dress code, accessories built to match a suit, not to outlast one. For the fake rich, it is the illusion of Swiss pedigree with the reality of a department store accessory. Number 5. Montblanc's Star Legacy Quartz is the penmaker's wrist pretender, a masterclass in luxury branding over horological substance. The logo tax. Retail prices for entry-level quartz models land between $800 and $950, but the real story sits under the dial. Inside beats an ETA 945.412 quartz movement, a mass-produced Swiss engine that goes for about $30 wholesale. Add up the rest, case, crystal, packaging, and the total build cost hovers around $260. That's a retail markup of more than threefold, with most of the margin paying for the Montblanc name, not watchmaking innovation. Pen heritage, watch reality. Montblanc's reputation was built on fountain pens, not chronometry. The Star Legacy quartz line trades on that prestige, but real collectors know the difference. The mechanics are generic, the assembly is outsourced, and the Swiss-made label here means just enough value was added in Switzerland to clear the legal bar. The result? A watch that is all about the logo, not the movement. Status illusion. On the resale market, These quartz Montblancs retain only 35 to 45% of their original price after 2 years, a steeper drop than many fashion watches. Forums like Watchaseek and R Watches call them out as pen company jewelry, not serious timepieces. For the fake rich, it is a way to signal taste without knowing the difference between a mechanical masterpiece and a logo-stamped quartz. For the collector, it is a pen company's side hustle masquerading as horology. Number 4. TAG Heuer's entry-level quartz and connected lines are a masterclass in selling the Swiss illusion at a tech price. The logo tax, retail prices for the Formula One quartz start around $600 and climb to $1,200 for the connected smartwatch, but the real story is buried under the dial. Inside, the Formula One beats a Ronda 515 quartz movement, industry standard, $28 at wholesale. For the connected, it is a Wear OS platform built on silicon that costs about $110 in total hardware, right in line with a mid-tier Android smartwatch. The Swiss-made Mirage, thanks to the 60% value-add rule, TAG Heuer can stamp Swiss-made on the case if just over half the production cost happens in Switzerland. In reality, the movement is imported. The case is often sourced from global suppliers, and the final assembly is a legal technicality. Build reality. The bill of materials for a $1,200 connected is barely double that of a $300 fossil smartwatch, but the markup is justified by the tag shield on the crown. Tech obsolescence. The connected line is obsolete within 2 years. No collector wants last season's firmware, and resale drops to 50% of retail in the first year. Even the quartz Formula One loses 45 to 60% within 24 months, despite the Swiss badge. Community consensus. On RR Watches and Watchaseek, TAG's quartz and connected models are dismissed as status props for the fake rich, watches bought for the name, not the movement. For real collectors, a $28 Ronda in a $700 case is the ultimate red flag. For the fake rich, it is the Swiss logo that counts, not the ticking inside. Coming to the top 3, Breitling's Colt and Super Ocean entry mechanicals ride on a heritage name but run on mid-tier mechanics. The tool watch that talks big. Retail prices for these models hover around $3,800, selling the image of a pilot's essential or a diver's companion. But open the case back, and the movement inside is almost always an ETA 2824 or a Sellita SW200, off-the-shelf workhorses that can be bought wholesale for about $120. Build reality, add up the case, crystal, bracelet, and labor, and the total bill of materials lands near $300. The rest of the sticker price is the Breitling badge and a story built on marketing, not movement innovation. Depreciation drama. Chrono 24 resale charts tell the truth. Within 3 years, that $3,800 Colt or Super Ocean typically tumbles to between $1,800 and $2,200, a 30 to 45% value drop, even faster than some fashion brands. The rugged illusion, forums like Watchaseek and R Watches are blunt. These are tool watches for the boardroom, not the cockpit. Collectors see them as solid, but never as serious horology. The movement is reliable, but it is the same engine found in micro brands, a quarter of the price. No in-house magic, just a logo and a story about adventure. For the fake rich, Breitling's entry mechanicals are the perfect prop. A big name on the dial, a chunky case on the wrist, and a price tag that screams, "I made it," until you try to sell it. For real collectors, it's a reminder that heritage branding and rugged marketing cannot hide generic guts. The only thing truly tough about these watches is the resale curve. Number 2. Audemars Piguet's Royal Oak Quartz collaborations are the final word in luxury logo inflation. The collab cash grab. Retail prices for these quartz Royal Oaks start at $8,000 and can climb much higher when paired with limited edition dials or celebrity tie-ins. But inside, a Solida quartz movement that costs about $35 at wholesale? Yes, the same price tier as the engine in a $200 micro brand. The build cost, factoring in the case, dial, and bracelet, rarely exceeds $1,200. That is a markup that would make even the most shameless fashion brands blush. Status illusion. Mechanical royal oaks are the real collector's grail, trading at 2 to 3 times retail on the secondary market. An $18,000 list price can mean $40,000 at auction. But the quartz versions often sell below retail, with Chrono 24 listings showing losses of 20% to 40% within 2 years. The market knows the difference. A $35 movement behind the Audemars Piguet logo is not fooling anyone who has ever opened a case back. The fake flex factor. Audemars Piguet's marketing machine leans hard on the Royal Oak's legacy, but the quartz collabs are built for Instagram, not for horology. These watches are not about finishing, movement innovation, or the kind of watchmaking that built Audemars Piguet's name. They are status props for the fake rich, bought for the logo, flexed for the feed, and quietly dumped on the gray market when the next hype drop arrives. Community consensus. On our watches and collector forums, the verdict is blunt. Quartz Royal Oaks are the ultimate poser's piece. Real collectors chase the mechanicals. The fake rich settle for a logo and a battery. When a $35 movement powers an $8,000 watch, the only thing ticking is the countdown to depreciation. This is where heritage meets hype, and substance gets left behind. And finally, in first place, Richard Mille's RM01 Weven and entry-level models turn the watch world's logo tax into an Olympic event. The luxury trophy. Retail prices for these pieces start at $150,000 and soar past $200,000, but the true build cost hovers between $20,000 and $30,000, depending on the model. That's a gap wide enough to drive a fleet of influencer Lamborghinis through. The hard truth: only about 15% of the sticker price goes into the movement and materials. The rest is pure hype, fueled by marketing budgets that rival small tech startups and a celebrity placement strategy that reads like a VIP guest list. Nadal, Pharrell, Verstappen, and anyone else with a blue checkmark and a private jet. Scarcity is the bait, but it is manufactured as carefully as the carbon cases. Richard Mille's limited releases and closed waiting lists create instant FOMO, while secondary market premiums turn these watches into financial instruments for the Instagram set. The RM011, for example, routinely resells at 1.2 to 2.5 times its already inflated retail price. That means a watch with a $200,000 retail price, built for less than the price of a new BMW, can fetch $400,000 on the gray market, simply because a Formula One driver wore it on the podium. Movement reality. Beneath the sculpted bridges and skeletonized dials, the movement is a custom-tuned ETA or Vaucher base, solid, but nowhere near the horological innovation that defines true high watchmaking. The real investment goes into design patents, exotic case materials, and the relentless pursuit of brand mystique. On collector forums, the consensus is blunt. Mille is the ultimate status prop, a watch for those who want to be seen, not those who care what is ticking inside. For the fake rich, Richard Mille is the endgame, the loudest, most expensive logo in the room, bought for the feed and flexed for the crowd. For real collectors, it is the final proof that price and prestige mean nothing without substance. When $30,000 of watchmaking sells for $200,000 and up, the only thing rarer than the watch is a buyer who actually knows what they are buying. Across all 10 brands, one pattern is undeniable. The price of status is pure fiction. Logos. Trump mechanics, marketing trumps craft, and depreciation trumps value. The fake rich aren't buying watches. They're buying permission to flex. In a world obsessed with image, The real luxury is knowing the difference. Which brand fooled you most? Drop your take below.